Now at 6 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, the Luther Hotel is here to stay, and we have updates.
In El Paso, the city continues to cope with the migrant surge at the border.
And a potential government shutdown would impact crucial federal programs.
Plenty of sunshine today and temperatures again in the 90s. We're looking for sun and a little bit more humidity as we get to the weekend. We'll talk about our rain chance coming up in a moment.
And a New England Patriot fan died during the game on Sunday night. We have the latest in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
The Goliad County Sheriff's Office made a traffic stop on the 9,000 block of U.S. Highway 59 South. They arrested Ivan Farias of Mathis for unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon after he was found to have a pistol. Farias also had a warrant out of San Patricio County for theft of a firearm. There has been a change in leadership for the Luther Hotel, an historic hotel in ashes that looks like it'll avoid demolition.
We have 25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel in studio with more.
That's right, Don and Karina. So Miss Ann Finley Jones, she's the sister of the owner of the Luther Hotel. She's resigned from her post as the independent administrator of the Luther Hotel. So in this change of leadership, the judge appointed a new dependent administrator, meaning decisions will be made jointly as a team, with the Palacios Preservation Association being pleased with this decision. The new temporary dependent administrator is a lawyer with a great deal of experience in this area and will be involved directly to save the hotel. This is according to Margaret Dowdy. She's on the Palacios Preservation Association.
There was an agreement to move from independent administration to dependent administration. And that means that the administrator would have the support of the judge and the advice from the judge. And so it wouldn't just be one person making decisions, it would be decisions that were being made jointly. So that's a very, very good decision.
The newly appointed dependent administrator will be meeting with the Luther Hotel leadership team Friday. There are plans in motion to get fans inside the hotel and to get the electricity back on, as well as a plan to get the hotel cleaned up. Margaret added that for the first time, it feels like everyone involved in this legal process is on the same page. A great feeling for anyone who wants to save the Luther. Don, Karina, back to you.
Adam, thank you. Zacklands Parkway Loop 463 will close between Houston Highway and Lone Tree Road from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. This is part of the Loop 463 bridge widening construction project.
A new ERCOT report says the Texas grid is ready for fall power demand. KCEM reports ERCOT officials say there could be rotating power outages if an extreme scenario happens. The report says Texas is expected to have enough power generating capacity during peak demands this fall under normal system conditions. This comes after a summer where Texas broke several power demand records. Gee, I wonder how.
Well, with that, let's take a look at your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Mac Bettis, who tells us we're out of the triple-digit temperature and fall could be coming. Is that true?
Well, fall is coming. Whether we'll be feeling fall weather is a big question, but at least we're not in the triple digits. And, you know, we broke 10 record usage records over the last few months because everybody needed to stay cool. We looked at a 95 for today. We're looking at temperatures triple digits in the inland portions of Texas. There is a little frontal system coming toward us on Monday. We'll try and see what that does to our temperatures coming up in a moment. We'll be right back.
Mac, thank you. The White House warning today that a looming government shutdown could threaten crucial federal programs, with the government funding set to expire September 30th. House Republicans, who hold a majority in the chamber, are trying to push a plan that would temporarily fund the government and beef up border security. But the Republican caucus appears deeply divided, and even if House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is able to unite his party under a conservative spending plan, the victory would be short-lived. The hard right bill, with steep 8% cuts to many services, would be rejected by the Senate, where the Democrats hold the control.
If Republicans hold Republicans back from moving bills, it's like you're walking into a fight losing. And I've never understood that situation. So I want to be able to win these battles.
If lawmakers are unable to reach an agreement, active duty military and federal law enforcement personnel would be forced to work without pay, and FEMA's disaster relief fund, which is already running dangerously low, could be depleted. Here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, are you concerned about a potential government shutdown? Yes or no? According to these results, 56% say yes and 44% stand at no. We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we're going to have an update on 25 News Now at 10.
Lack of housing and resources creating a crisis in some communities due to a rise in the number of migrants crossing over U.S. borders. Border officials have concerns.
A surge in migrants crossing over the U.S. southern border causing concerns for communities across the nation. There were more than 8,000 apprehensions Monday, according to a Department of Homeland Security official. With shelters in El Paso, Texas at or over capacity, resources are being stretched.
Things were slow 4 or 5 weeks ago, so their capacity was about 250 a day. Then they ramped up to 400, and now they're ramping up to 600.
The rising number of migrants coming in causing tension in communities far from the southern border. On Staten Island, 10 people were taken into custody as protesters blocked a bus carrying migrants. New York City's mayor condemning their actions.
I say to those who believe they're going to use violence by throwing bottles at police officers and migrants, we're not going to accept that.
The surge in Arizona is causing long wait times at the border. The mayor of Nogales calling on Washington for help.
My main concern is I hope Washington comes and visits us and looks at the real picture.
Amid the uptick in arrivals, migrant families pose a unique set of challenges for officials. Last week, an independent court monitor found that in rare cases, children were temporarily separated from their parents while in processing centers. A Customs and Border Protection spokesperson maintains the agency prioritizes keeping families together. An official with the agency said sometimes separations are carried out amid overcrowding in the interest of safety.
We want to treat everybody with dignity and respect and bring the folks in as we can.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Tuesday, DPS South Texas Region Special Agents stopped a human smuggling attempt in Laredo, where 49 migrants were found inside a commercial trailer. Special agents were quick to remove the migrants who were locked inside a poorly ventilated trailer. The migrants included 44 males and 5 females from Guatemala, Mexico, and Honduras. A scary scene for students on a bus in Houston today. 10 children and 2 adults were taken to the hospital after a Houston ISD bus was involved in a crash this morning, causing it to overturn. Police say the crash took place around 6:45 a.m. as the bus was headed to school. 2 additional vehicles were also involved. Those taken to the hospital were transported with minor injuries but are expected to be okay.
A family hoping to save their home made another plea to the Aldine ISD Tuesday night. KPRC reports Travis Upchurch, the 79-year-old homeowner, claims that Aldine ISD wants his property to renovate and expand the district's football stadium, but he does not want to move. In April, the Aldine ISD board voted to take the property by eminent domain so that the district can build a new $50 million football stadium. 4 more Texas school districts voted last night to join a lawsuit against the Texas Education Agency. KXAS reports Plano, Fort Worth, Hayes, and Bastrop ISDs voted to join nearly 60 Texas school districts in the lawsuit. They are protesting changes to the way the TEA grades campuses. The lawsuit claims the new accountability ratings will negatively drop their district scores. If a school district ranks low enough for long enough, the state of Texas can take over.
Today was open house day inside one of Victoria's well-known care centers. Mary Garcia, director of Affectionate Arms Adult Day Health Care Center, said today was a day for the community to stop by and see what their facility provided and has to offer. She said this week was specifically important for Affectionate Arms to spread the word about what they do and what they need.
We are celebrating all these events because of National Adult Day Healthcare Week. And so we take this opportunity to bring awareness to the community about what we are and the services that we provide.
Garcia says they will end Adult Day Services Week with an auction this Saturday from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. It will take place inside the Affectionate Arms location at 3802 John Stockbauer Drive in Victoria.
Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. The Port Lavaca City Council approved a new ordinance to remove curfews for juveniles in their monthly meeting. And 2 beach and shoreline cleanups are set to run later this month. Plus, the Memorial Medical Center celebrated its 10th anniversary last Tuesday. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so when you're on YouTube, you can get Crossroads Today. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 6. Florida Governor and Republican presidential candidate Ron DeSantis visits the Permian Basin to talk about his energy policy.
Also ahead, the negotiation table opens up to talks with union leaders hoping to halt 2 strikes. Governor and Republican presidential candidate Ron DeSantis was deep in the heart of Texas oil country today, calling for, in his words, a return to American energy dominance. He revealed his proposed energy policy, which he believes will boost U.S. oil and natural gas production, and insists gas prices could drop to $2 below or per gallon by 2025. While taking questions, the Florida governor addressed climate change as well.
I think what I pointed out here is the more abundant and affordable our energy is, the more resilient we're going to be in the face of these natural disasters. I can tell you in Florida, if we didn't have reliable energy, responding to the hurricanes would be so much more difficult. You would absolutely have way more loss of life in these things. And so from that perspective, it's really done. But I don't think it's healthy for leaders to be telling young kids not to have children because of global warming.
He said this plan would result in America not having to rely on what he called hostile nations for its energy needs ever again.
More changes could be underway at Texas A&M. KBTX reports the university may be undoing some of the changes that were put in place by the previous university president. Interim President Mark Welsh released a 32-page report that centers on projects once considered a top priority by former Texas A&M University leaders that are now receiving renewed attention. Possible movement in 2 major U.S. worker strikes. United Auto Workers leaders reportedly back in talks Wednesday with 2 of the top 3 U.S. automakers.
And in Hollywood, screenwriter union leaders now back at the negotiating table with studio heads.
On day 6 of the auto workers' strike, the clock is ticking.
No wheels, no deals.
The union says more plants will strike if executives at the Big 3 don't offer better contracts by noon on Friday. An impasse continues over demands like wage increases, pensions, and a 4-day work week.
I have a problem with the approach the union's taking. Let's pay people what they deserve, but let's not be paying for people not to work.
I stand with the striking UAW workers. They deserve to share in these record profits that the executives are taking home.
The UAW, Ford, and GM are in talks Wednesday, says a source familiar with negotiations, adding the union meets with Stellantis, which owns Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, on Thursday. Union screenwriters, producers, and actors have been picketing for weeks, but talks between writers, producers, and major studios resumed Wednesday. Key sticking points: higher pay, streaming data transparency, and how artificial intelligence is used.
I support WGA and SAG as it relates to their existential stress as it relates to streaming and how it's radically changing the business model as it relates to artificial intelligence.
I don't want industry, studios to be able to use my likeness in perpetuity. We're striking as a whole because we're a family. And if one artist is struggling, we're all struggling.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
It's been just over a week since the FDA and CDC approved the updated COVID-19 vaccines, which they highly encourage the public to get. But some people are hitting roadblocks that did not exist before the government commercialized the COVID-19 vaccines. Several pharmacies have run out of doses and had to cancel vaccine appointments. Some patients have been surprised to learn they have to pay out of pocket. This seems to be a short-term problem related to limited early supplies.
Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Quail Record. The DeWitt County Historical Commission will hold a Lives Remembered presentation September 23rd. And Timothy Pointer seeks Republican nomination for district attorney. Plus, Quail resident Pat Trevino publishes a new book based on a true story called Burning Faith, Our Lady of Guadalupe Church Fire Christmas 1948. And now here's Mac.
Well, thank you very much. Another sunny, warm day. You think that as we get into official fall weather, we would feel like fall, but it's not necessarily the case down here. We'll be talking about what to expect for the rest of the week coming up in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Well, tomorrow night, of course, is Football Friday night. We've got the Shiner Comanches against the Ganado Indians. It'll be at Comanche Stadium. We're going to call it partly cloudy. Now, there is a 20% chance of a couple of little afternoon showers, but I don't think there'll be an issue there. The good thing is the winds will be up during the afternoon hours and then settling down during the night. We're looking at kickoff temperature about 89 degrees. And then, of course, at 10 o'clock, the staff here, the entire staff of the station and the news department will be collecting all the scores that you need to know. So join us at 10 and get all that information. Lots of sunshine again today. Right now our temperature is at 92. We did manage get up to 95 today. You'd think that, you know, we'd get closer to at least our average temperature, which should be at 90, but no such luck for us. Today, with the sunshine and just a few low clouds, it was a pretty good looking day. Up in North Texas, all the big stormy weather that came through the Dallas area last night is now basically in Louisiana and Arkansas. They actually got some hail and some strong winds up here to the west of the Dallas area. The only place where any heavy weather might occur tonight will be up in that little pocket, but otherwise a fairly quiet evening and no severe weather expected over Texas. Now, this time of year, I started looking north. You know, for the summer, we look south because that's where all the tropical storm is. But now, as we transition in fall, we start looking for big Pacific storms coming in with heavy rain and wind. This is the first one they're going to get. It actually has a little snow for the northern Rockies, as you see right about there. Obviously, that frontal system will be pushing down into our area on Monday. But we only get the tail end of it. It's not going to be much of a front. Other thing to watch is this. This is an area of low pressure that's going to go up the Atlantic seaboard. It's going to look like a tropical storm, but it's not a tropical storm. But doesn't matter what it looks like. It's going to be very windy, very rainy. They're probably looking at 5 to 10 inches of rain along the east coast as that system moves northbound. And this one that produced the rain last night is pulling away, so not a major issue. Everything we're going to get is going to be coming like this. Observed highs across the state today. Well, you saw the 95 for us, 93 in Dallas. For tomorrow, we're still looking at 96 and then 96 up in San Angelo as well. Taking a quick look out at the Atlantic, we have Nigel here. Nigel's going away, fortunately not bothering too many people. We have that system off the coast of Florida, and then we have what will likely to become Ophelia over here. Ophelia is going to have a lot of room to run, and it looks like it will become a hurricane that may affect the Lesser Antilles and then get very close to the East Coast. No problems as far as we're concerned. We're going to be fine. If you have a chance to go do a little fishing tomorrow morning, your sunrise is at 7:15, sunset about 7:24, and there is your two tides. The winds will be up a little bit during the afternoon hours, but not so much in the morning. They'll be very pleasant in the morning. 81 for the low in Port Lavaca, and you can see how the humidity makes a big difference there. We are getting up to 97 in Cuero in the afternoon. Here we go. We see that 20% on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Best chance would be Monday night into Tuesday when the tail end of that frontal system moves into Texas. That's your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Cuddy now.
Thanks, Mac. And now here's Sports Director Gino Perez.
Thanks, Karina. A few Aggies from the Crossroads could benefit from the new NIL partnership in Aggieland. That's coming up after the break. At a crossroads, a fan who attended Sunday night's game between the New England Patriots and Miami Dolphins is dead after a fight, and the autopsy results are out. According to a CBS station in Boston, the autopsy showed that the victim, Dale Mooney, suffered a medical issue that may have contributed to his death. Eyewitness statements said the fight was between a season ticket holder in Mooney and a Miami Dolphin fan. The 53-year-old was rushed to the hospital and pronounced dead just before midnight on Sunday. Currently, there are no charges being filed related to the incident. Michigan State University announced it is intended to fire its head football coach. Mel Tucker was suspended without pay earlier this month amid an investigation into sexual harassment allegations. With the university's notice, he now has 7 days to provide reasons why he should not be terminated. The university began investigating Tucker back in December after a report in USA Today. The report said Tucker was accused of having non-consensual phone sex with a woman who counseled him and the football team about relationship violence. Tucker said his relationship with the woman was mutual. He denies any wrongdoing. He started in Michigan State at 2020. Last night, area teams faced off on the hardwood, and here are a few of the scores. The Victoria East Lady Titans lose its district opener to Gregory Portland Wildcats. The Titans could not win a single match in the set. The Lady Titans are off on Friday, but will face West on Tuesday at home. Meanwhile, the Victoria West Lady Warriors get its first district win of the season against CC Ray. West improves to 19-12 on the year and was led by Hannah Laced with 15 kills, 13 digs, and 2 blocks. West will play Gregory Portland Friday at home at 5 o'clock. Yoakum volleyball defense was dominant for the second straight matchup. They too got the sweep over Rice. Macy Blakeney on the night had 33 assists to go along with 6 aces. Gianna Phillips had 12 kills and 2 aces. A few Crossroads Aggies could potentially benefit from the newest name, image, and likeness, ever more so because of the Texas A&M new partnership. The Aggies announced Texas Aggies United to become an executive and official partner of Texas A&M Athletics. Texas Aggies United operates independently from TAMU, but will work directly with student athletes for NIL opportunities. Texas Aggies United will be able to promote at Texas A&M athletic events, radio, and social media channels. The 3 Aggies in Aggieland include football running back Ruben Owens, defensive back Dalton Brooks, and baseball player Ryan Targosh out of Hallettsville. Lastly, the Astros walk it off against the Baltimore Orioles today, winning 2-1. Well, that's your sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
Yay, Astros.
Thanks, Gina. We're back in a moment. A man with no arms and hands is throwing out the first pitch at a Major League Baseball stadium. We have the story straight ahead.
Tonight, this man is inspiring pitchers, Major League Baseball fans, and people around the country. Tom Willis, the president and founder of Pitch for Awareness National Tour, is using the pitcher's mound to deliver more than a first pitch. Tom has no arms and no hands, but he was at Yankee Stadium to throw out the first pitch. Tom used his foot to throw the ball to home plate. Tom's thrown the first pitch with his foot at 29 different stadiums. I think it was really great that as we keep watching, this is amazing, really.
That's a great story.
A few years back, the Yankees had a pitcher named Jim Abbott who had just one full arm, and he was able to throw a no-hitter. So it's kind of fitting that this is at Yankee Stadium because the Yankees had a great reputation with Jim Abbott, and here's this guy, so inspirational is this guy. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Whew. Wow.
Great story.
Great story.
Yeah.
Well, let's transition over to weather, folks. We've got a chance of a few sprinkles coming in the afternoon hours over the weekend, but nothing severe and certainly not as bad as last Friday. So I think your Friday night plans are going to go well. We have a little frontal system coming in on Monday night. For Tuesday, knock the temperature down 5 degrees. That would be something. Better than nothing is what I'm saying. At least we're not in the hundreds. That's your forecast.
All right, Mac, thank you, and thanks for joining us.
We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.